Hi guys, it's Wayne from WRPB and WRPB Studios. I have two guys next to me, and we were just laughing, so excuse the smile on my face. But um, with me is Mike Bird and Bill Schabel.
Yes, sir.
I have to get it out before I screw it up. Okay, I'm only doing this like 20-something years, and I still screw up people's names. Well, you guys are with Leviathan Defense Group,
Yes, sir.
and it's one of this is going to be one of the interviews that I love because it's about a topic that I love. And I have been around guns my whole life. Swore I'd never get it concealed. But the way things are going in this world, I guess it doesn't hurt to have. And I wanted to get it, but I wanted to get it and I wanted to know that I have it is one thing, but I know how to use it and when to use it and how to take care of it is another. So, like I always say, always use a professional. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Doing good, sir. How you doing today?
Great. Morning, Bill.
Morning.
Okay, so we gabbed a lot in the green room, Bill and I actually. Mike, how long you been in the industry?
So, I mean, really, when it, to kind of, start it off, I mean, I've always, I came from a military family. I came from a family that's been, ingrained in this kind of industry for a long time. But me, myself, I would really, constitute my beginning about 6 to 7 years ago when I really kind of made that hard transition to this industry myself.
You know, if you notice, Mike has like an amazing beard, okay? And he's a big guy. I mean, he's really built really well, which makes him a bigger target. I just want to put that out there because I'm only 5'2", so I'm a much smaller target. If I lose a little weight, it'd be almost impossible to hit me. All right, so you guys do, like, what do you do? I know you, keeping it simple, they surely teach the concealed course, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Te-
what
teach a
else do you
concealed course.
teach?
Bill, you wanna take it away?
So we do everything from new firearms owner classes to someone that, like yourself, that's never had a gun or just bought a gun and now needs to go ahead and learn how to use it and how to store it and how to go ahead and clean it and basically be safe with that weapon, to basic firearms or basic pistol all the way up to advanced pistol. And then we do the same thing with rifle, basic carbine to advanced carbine, shotgun, rifle, AK-47, and then we also do medical classes where we teach tactical medical classes to law enforcement and people that might be going out to becoming involved in like security services and stuff like that. We do wilderness medicine, so people that are going to be out hunting in the Everglades or hunting out in the national forest, in the event that they get hurt, they can go ahead and care for themselves until they get proper medical care. And then we also do about an hour and a half tourniquet application class, which is designed to go ahead and teach people how to stop the bleed in the event, which May is Stop the Bleed Month, by the way.
And that's really, I mean, that overshadows just firearms because you could get cut with a knife, you could cut a steak and cut yourself.
Exactly.
You could be married and your wife could stab you. And you want to know how to stop that bleeding. Sometimes we want to know how to stop the bleeding. Sometimes
Very
we do. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now you get into this and you're doing this. Times have changed, obviously. So have you seen changes since you got into it to today?
Yeah, I think we really have. There's definitely been a transition in the industry as a whole to, a little bit of a, I hate to say, a little bit of a cookie cutter mentality as a whole. But that's where, as an organization, we really want to fill that gap. We want to be able to offer our clientele and our students really that entire curriculum from that very first gun purchase all the way up to, the advanced operator level of stuff. And so one of the transitions that we really seen in the industry as a whole since kind of our, originally getting into it was trying to get out of that mentality a little bit and get back into taking our client, taking our customer and our student first and putting their needs above all else.
Okay, so we live in this crazy world, and there are so many things going on, and mass shootings go on and stuff like that. Do you train people how to prepare for stuff like that?
Yes, so that would be like our advanced handgun. So to give you an idea how this progresses, our basic handgun is a lot of up close and personal on the target, because if you're going to get robbed, it's typically going to be within 3 to 5 feet. You're
Right.
not worried about 27 feet away. But as you progress in your skills and you want to go ahead and take that skill set and build on it, now we start teaching you how to use cover and concealment, how to shoot from further away and still hit your target, hitting multiple targets. Many times there's not just one person involved, there may be several. So we teach people how to go ahead and basically stair step that skill level from the very basic up into what we call an advanced level.
Okay, so things have changed another way too, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but probably at one point in time, out of 100 people that came in, okay, probably 90 were male and 10% were female. Not like that anymore, is it?
No, I mean, I know, as Bill mentioned earlier in our, one of our prior conversations, women are now accounting for about 40% of the concealed carries that, that are out there. And I think, we as an organization love to see that transition, because it shows that, the female population, our female clientele, are really starting to identify and take their safety, under their own wing, and, kind of take on that responsibility and take on that, a little bit of that pressure that comes with it, but take on that experience and to be able to protect themselves and defend themselves, God forbid a situation arises.
I hate to say it, but I think they're more at risk than the guys.
Sure.
Okay, and for years, they've been kind of put off to the side. Hey, here's a little pink can of mace. That's enough for you. Don't worry about it. You don't need any more than that. But it's not like that anymore. Okay, people out there with weapons that are unbelievable. And having a weapon is not just the answer. It's knowing how to use the weapon.
Exactly.
Okay, is there one, and I think I know the answer to this, but what caliber is the one that most people carry?
I would say 9mm.
9mm seems to be the most popular.
Okay, do we know why the cost of ammo has gone through the roof?
Well, a lot of that is based on, of course, the supply and demand principles.
Right.
So what happened is it was basically a fear factor that initiated, that started with some of the events that happened earlier, and then now as the current administration has started talking about doing gun bans and stuff and all, people are concerned about having the ability to protect themselves in not only individually but in a mass situation. So, for example, the riots that occurred around the country, people are concerned about multiple individuals storming their houses. And if you look at that case in Illinois, that was a
Right.
perfect example where they had to protect themselves. And it's not a one isolated incident. It happens quite a bit.
And the funny thing about that is that whether you talk about today, 10 years ago, it's been happening forever, and it's not going to go away.
No.
Okay?
No.
We see it more now because of the internet
Right.
and because of media. But what's happening is we have more people, okay? And with more people, more issues. It's just a fact. God knows we live in Florida. Come the winter, driving is a nightmare. Okay, we got all those people down here.
Right.
And I always talked about, because I was a Brooklyn boy, came from New York, and the philosophy was, if you live in New York, you have a 200 credit score, okay, you can get an apartment, but you can't get a gun. In Florida, if you don't have a 650, 680, 700 score, you can't get an apartment, but you can get a gun. I don't know if I'm right, but my opinion would be, and tell me what you think, I think we should have a national gun control policy, meaning it should be straight across the board. I think if it's too easy in one state, then they'll just take it, they'll go to that state, get it, and move it here, and then this state can't get any, so they'll go and for that state, and they'll bring them to there.
Well, let me go ahead and chime in on that. So I was a police officer. I've dealt in these situations. What a lot of people don't realize is that there really are a number of regulations that prevent exactly that situation. So I can't. I live in Georgia. I work here in Florida. I'm go back and forth. I can't buy a pistol in Florida as a Georgia resident unless I own a house or property in Florida. So the thought about people just crossing state lines to buy a pistol is really it's a myth. They really can't do that. There has to be the fact about the background check. If you go to any of the gun shows, we work the gun shows at our booth. Any of the gun shows, people have to go ahead and make that phone call to the NIC Center, the National Information Center, and get cleared before they can buy that gun. They can't just buy a gun and walk out with it. Now, I will tell you, the only exception is a private sale. If you had a large collection of guns and you wanted to go ahead and sell your guns, there is no requirement for you to do a private sale to do that call in. And I think one of the common sense gun laws that they're talking about is doing that, which I agree with, because that's where the only loophole in the system really exists. But every state has federal laws that they have to abide by as far as the transfer of firearms. We're an FFL dealer, so if we get a firearm in, it has to be logged. If we sell that firearm, it has to be logged out. There's information about if we have to send that. If you wanted to buy a weapon and you're from another state, we have to ship it to that state. That transfer is all logged, and the ATF will come in and review our records and make sure we're keeping that. So there's really not an underground railroad of arms, so to speak, in the legal sale.
I was just going to go that
the
route.
legal sale.
The legal
Now,
side.
of course, the bad guys are going to transfer.
Always have a gun.
And
Yep.
they're
No matter
not
what the
gonna buy
laws
it.
are.
Exactly.
They're always going to have a gun.
Yes.
Okay? And
Yes.
if you people don't understand that, your guys are crazy, because the scenario is drugs are illegal. They're all over the place, okay? They tried prohibition with alcohol. Yeah, how was that working for us? Okay? It's the same with guns. Firearms are going to be out there, and easier to get out there because, and I could be wrong, but I think now that people are using 3D printers to make like these plastic guns, and
really that's really another thing that's been blown out of proportion by
Has
the
it?
mainstream media. Yeah, I mean, again, people that do it usually are people that are building weapons for sale, and are doing it legally. Just like anything else, you'll have that one bad apple or that one person that's
In
trying
every
to go ahead
industry.
and circumvent it. Part of the reason maybe is because the government has become so oppressive in the gun ownership deal that they're trying to go ahead and get around that. But
Find that workaround.
yeah, but the thing with there was a recent article about trying to outlaw silencers or suppressors.
yes, I saw that.
There has been no recorded situation where somebody has been killed, especially in any type of these mass shootings, with a suppressor.
That's because I'm watching this with James Bond.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
People have this idea that when you put a suppressor on a gun, it's literally silence. That's where the silencer comes from, and nothing could
not
be
true.
further from the truth.
Wow.
So,
Okay, at the top of the time, how do people find you? You have a website?
Yes, we do. So we're available at LeviathanDefenseGroup.com. We're also open on Instagram and most other social media platforms by Leviathan Defense Group.
Where are you guys located?
Well, so we have our main office is located down in Palm Beach Gardens on Burns and Military,
Uh-huh.
kind of in that area, just south of the mall. And then we have an outdoor range that's available out in Palm City.
You know, guys, I've been around guns my whole life. Love to shoot. Swore I'd never get a concealed, like I said, but I got one. It's now not just something for personal enjoyment. It's now for personal protection. And if you don't see that with everything that goes on, you're crazy. And that's in the firearms sector. What about so many other things that you guys do to keep people safe and healthy? You got to check them out. The website is Leviathan.
LeviathanDefenseGroup.com.
Everybody check them out. I want to thank Mike and Bill for coming on, guys.
Thank you very much,
It
sir.
was a
thank you
pleasure.
for having us. Appreciate it.
Check them out, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.